You've got Gorham over there, you've got Westbrook over there, and on this side of the Presumpscot River, Windham. And where they all meet, some consider the orchid capital of Maine. Let's go meet David Sparks. So David, you've been here for 40 years?
50 years.
50
years, yeah. Welcome to the river.
Well, thank you very much. That's one heck of a view.
We love it, we love it.
Well, we're here for orchids, but before we get to orchids, you represent a lot more than that. A lover of the natural world, really,
well,
right?
People probably know me from Sparks Ark. I started that back probably in 1980s, and I used to relocate nuisance wildlife and run a wildlife rehabilitation center.
So this is your plant sanctuary room?
It is. This is where I kind of keep my special plants. I used to have them all out here, but now I have some in the greenhouse and I keep special ones in.
This one is special.
Yep, this one is in peak bloom right now. It's from Australia. The white color sometimes will tell you that it's pollinated by moths sometimes, so it'll be more fragrant in the evening time. Another one of my favorite orchids is this one right here. This is from the Philippines.
Philippines.
It's called Dendrochilum wenzellii. Each one of these has individual little flowers on them. So one little thing here probably has 20 or 30 flowers.
So
and it's blooming all over.
Beautiful.
In the wild of the Philippines, these wouldn't grow in a pot, of course. They grow on a tree branch, in the crook of a tree.
Now that's a lot of blossoms. This is a singular blossom here, but gorgeous.
This is one of the slipper orchids. It's called Paphiopedilum, which is the genus name, but it's a combination of species. And this one has a clonal name of Winston Churchill.
So do they all have interesting names like that?
If you get one awarded to the American Orchid Society, you can name it whatever you want. Like if I took this and it didn't have an award to it, and I took it down and had it judged, I could name it Paphiopedilum Todd Gutner if I wanted to.
Paphiopedilum Todd Gutner, huh? That'd be interesting.
So this is a Phalaenopsis orchid. This would be one that you would find in your grocery stores and your big box stores. It looks really nice and it's really healthy at the moment, but if you leave it like this and try to take care of it, it's going to die.
It's in trouble then.
It is. This pot has no drainage in the bottom of it, and it's in this little tiny constricted pot in here. First of all, it needs to come out of this.
Okay.
That's a no-no.
Okay.
And you could keep it in this until it's done blooming.
Yeah.
And then you could repot it. And you put it in a pot with styrofoam peanuts on the bottom for drainage, and then you use a little orchiata or pine bark mix with some volcanic rock for drainage. It lets the air get to the roots.
Okay, and that's
These
really
orchids
important.
need to breathe. Also, you don't want to put it in the bright sun. You'll burn the leaves.
Okay.
And a good test is to take and hold your hand over it. And if the shadow is just kind of a soft shadow, that's the kind of light you want.
That's what you want.
But if you see a real dark, defined shadow, then it's too bright a light.
Direct
light, burn the leaves.
Probably too much.
Yeah.
I mean, they're temperamental like most plants, right?
They can be.
Watering, fertilizer, light, those kind of issues.
The other thing you can do is you could take and mount it and put it on a piece of bark like this. And when I do that, I use monofilament line, and I wrap it around. You can see the line right here, and eventually the roots will grow right into on the surface of the bark to be watered.
Okay.
And that's a good way of doing it.
Other issues you might run into, if there's too much water?
Well, the other thing is if you get too much water, like say this one right here, it has some dead roots on it, and they should be trimmed. But if you trim them with scissors, sometimes orchids can get viruses. There's a multitude of viruses, and if you use scissors and don't sterilize them well, you're going to transfer a virus from one orchid to another. So I use single-edge razor blades, and they're real easy and real inexpensive, and I can take and cut the roots or cut a bad part of the leaf with a blade and just throw it away.
Just slice it right off.
And then I don't have to worry about it. And any orchid that I get, even though it probably doesn't have a virus, I treat it like it has a virus.
Okay.
So you don't transmit that.
Love it. Before we go, I've got to point this one out here. This thing is amazing. What is this orchid?
This is a dendrobium orchid. It grows on Lombok Island in the Philippines.
Wow.
It's the only place in the world it grows.
And you have one.
I do. And it's actually growing on a piece of cedar shingle, and you can see all the roots hanging there. And actually, if you look at the tips, you can see the tips are a little bit green.
Yeah.
And that shows you that they're alive and well, and that gets watered or misted every single day.
And you do that?
I do that every day.
Just spritz it every day?
I do.
David, orchids, truly fascinating. Thanks so much for taking on this orchid journey. If you want to learn more, it's the Maine Orchid Society. You've got a website, lots of info there. And we'll see you next time on Gardening with Gutner.